What's up, everybody? It's your girl D here, and welcome to 3D Rivals, your first line of defense against stupid movies. And today we will be reviewing Legally Blonde for our continuation of this month-long, actually it's like 2 months, long series of 3D Rivals at the bar.
Yes.
Yes, so today we're having Moscow Mules
Moscow Mule.
Moscow Mule
with a twist.
with medium rare chocolate chip cookies.
It's only that because they made the cookies too big. It did not want to wait for them to finish cooking.
They weren't too big.
Yes. So, as always, I am joined by my brother Derek
What's up?
and our friend Dan.
What's going on?
Darren is sick again, so we'll be doing this without him. But we did get his thoughts on Legally Blonde.
Mm-hmm.
He loved it.
He
Said it was one of his favorite movies.
he had thoughts. So so let's get started. Legally Blonde is a 2001 movie starring Reese Witherspoon.
Mm-hmm.
It's about basically your stereotypical dumb blonde and her journey through law school.
Yes.
It sort of opens up where she thinks her boyfriend Warrington Huffington the third.
Yeah.
Was it Warrington
Huntington.
or Warner? I thought it was Warner.
Warner Huntington the third.
Both names are dumb.
Very.
So whichever one is
and
correct.
there's 3 of them. So
Right? Yeah.
Yikes.
3 generations of a stupid name.
Yeah.
Just so anyway, she thinks he's going to propose. Basically, he's like, "You're too dumb. I want to
Mhm.
be a senator, and you're too dumb to be my wife."
Right.
So he's basically going to trade her in for a better model. So then she's like, "Well, then I'm just going to go to law school
Mm-hmm.
Yep, right along with him.
right along with him." And that's just kind of what this. I mean, that's just basically just the whole movie.
Yeah, that is the gist.
But I wanted to we just focus on that first part about how, he dumps her. She's like, "I won't get into law school." The first third of the movie is very boring and hard to watch.
Yes.
Would you guys would agree?
Yeah.
I think the first 100% of the movie was pretty hard to watch, but
I felt
Okay.
like once we got to the court case,
Mhm.
for me it went from pure torture to watch my phone in close.
okay, all right.
Yeah,
I
because I
agree with
would
that.
say like the first quarter, at some point I did check to see how much time was left
Mhm.
I mean,
for the movie.
thankfully this movie's only an hour and a half.
Yeah, when I first loaded up the movie, I was like,
Yeah.
okay, hour 36 minutes. All right, cool. I can do
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, I usually do
Hmm.
look at the time ahead of time, but I forgot or whatever. So it was like, yeah, how it started out, I was,
It was
like,
a rough start.
okay, how much more of this is left?
Yeah, I'm like, is this whole movie gonna have this same
Right, and
tone?
yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
Is
Like,
it
is it
because
going?
I felt like it kind of reminded me of Clueless, but I
Mhm.
actually like.
I like Clueless though.
Yes,
I like because they were
Clueless is actually funny.
Okay, I got you.
Mhm.
Clueless is actually
Clueless,
funny.
like okay,
there's a reason.
there's
There's a reason. A little bit more seasoning.
You
on there.
you bring up a good point. I did not find this movie funny at all.
Right.
like-
I only found one part funny
All right, is your part the same part as my part?
when they was talking to Hector. Was that his name?
Oh, I thought his name was Enrique.
Enrique. Was that it? No, doctor.
The garden, no, the pool boy. When he was just
said, she said the garden.
Because these are the only 2 jobs. Oh man. but yeah, sure, him. Ricky Martin. Yeah, him.
when you talking about Chuck.
Yeah, when he was going through the questions, he said, "Your boy's name is Chuck." He's like, "Okay." I'm like, all right, that was kind of funny, but
Like that was kind of funny. And then was
Right.
like Chuck is just a friend, and like Chuck stands up in the audience. That was the only part of the movie that was funny.
yeah, that's the only
Yeah.
part I actually
I would
laughed
agree.
on.
So when you say only one part, that's like I bet his part is my part.
Mhm,
Yeah.
yep.
So it was just like, and I wanted to be pleasantly surprised by this movie
Mhm.
because everyone likes it a lot. It's so well liked, and I was hoping watching
Everyone?
this. You know who I mean by everyone.
Okay.
It had, I mean, the movie had good scores to it. So.
Yeah, like generally when I'm looking up stuff about this movie, everyone's like, "Oh, I love this movie. It's so great. This is why I became a lawyer." Blah blah blah.
This is why you became a lawyer.
Hey, whatever.
I say it like this:
Whatever
they
motivates
deemed it as a sleeper hit during that time.
Okay, it was 2001.
There was a bunch of stuff out in 01.
I agree. It was a different time though.
That is true.
So
That is true.
maybe.
Yeah, so I mean, so I really went into this hoping that I liked it.
Mm-hmm.
That it was one of those movies that I had no interest in, but at the end of the day, you're like, you know what, this was a good movie.
Mhm.
It didn't do that for me.
It didn't do none of that.
It did not do that for me. I mean, I think that overall the story is good. So we go back to the beginning where she's like, well, I'm going to get into law school.
Right.
And I like the fact that it showed that she actually studied and tried and really put forth a real effort.
Yeah,
Mhm.
like it wasn't a take on like, oh, I'm gonna go to law school, and then it's like a funny ploy of like, oh, they actually kind of made it, but it's like I did like the fact of like
Mhm.
what Dee was bringing out
Mhm.
of her actually like studying and taking it serious.
Yeah, I dig that part.
Yeah.
The only thing I really didn't like was, and I guess, like she said she was in love with dude, but the fact that okay, he dumped you in the way that he dumped you,
Yeah.
and
Oh,
the
yeah.
reasoning that behind it, and
Yeah,
you're gonna chase him through law school.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, you leave.
This
Yeah,
is
and
the
my
love
thing
of your
is-
life. Nah,
No, you leave.
I'm not going to put in that much work to study for the LSATs, to get into Harvard Law for
Mhm.
some dude. Like, I'm
that
sorry.
just dumped you like
Yeah,
that.
and
Just dump me.
maintain a 4.0.
It just
No.
to basically just to be like, you're a
Mhm.
dumb blonde and I want nothing for you. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Like, I'm going to marry a Vanderbilt.
Mhm.
And you chase them across the country.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Just
And did you see the lady that his brother married? The picture of her?
Yeah,
She looked horrible.
yeah. Well, then isn't that what the
Plus,
old
she had a
lady
mouthful
said?
of bubble gum.
Yeah.
Yeah, a mouthful of bubble.
That's what it looked like.
Well,
Mouthful of
even then,
bubble
the
gum.
girl
She's
he
horrible.
picked up, she
Mm.
just, I'm like,
She wasn't doing
Yeah.
it for me.
But I mean, even then, he's not an attractive guy, so whatever.
I can't really comment on that.
He is not an attractive guy.
Okay, according to Diamond, this guy ain't for it.
He
Mhm.
I'm not about to chase that guy. He's not getting chased 2,000 miles.
It's
Not
all
doing
right.
it.
We're gonna have to go with that opinion.
So, but I mean, I think like one thing I will say about this movie is that it's not your stereotypical. You know how usually movies like this where she's like kind of like a mean bully or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
And
Yeah.
then she befriends the frumpy girl.
Yeah.
And something happens, and I'm like, oh, we're really not that much different or whatever. I feel
Mhm.
like I do like the fact that this was more about her realizing how smart she really was. And that everyone kind of put her in the dumb blonde box. But it turns
Mhm.
out like she wasn't dumb at all.
Right.
And is that like, you know, put a little effort in, like, I can be a lawyer.
Mhm.
Because you think about it. Go ahead.
Okay. I was saying like it wasn't that she was dumb. It's just that the areas where she had knowledge ended up being beneficial to to the case that they was working.
Yeah.
They weren't focusing on those kind of details. Like
Yeah.
when they found out that what's his name was gay because he realized actually
Yeah.
what brand shoes she had on.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Ain't no other man gonna recognize that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And then the whole thing about the perm.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't nobody paying attention to that. Like,
Right.
like as soon as she said it, I knew. I'm like, you supposed to get your hair wet when you just had a perm. Like,
Well,
you wash
you
your
just-
hair.
Right.
Well, even then, like, I just left the salon and I'm about to wash my hair.
Yeah,
Man, I
no,
don't touch my
why?
hair. I'm
No.
not touch my hair for
Yeah,
days.
yeah, like for what?
Yeah.
Like,
No,
that's
man.
a lot of money.
Yeah, that's
Mhm.
ridiculous. So like, yeah, those little details like kind of
Mm-hmm.
work their way in there.
Well,
Mhm.
even then, you look at her score on the LSATs, right? She had a 179. Her perfect
Mhm.
score is a 180.
Yeah.
So it's like, she's no dummy.
Mhm.
Even then, like, okay, so she's in her first day at law school, doesn't go well. She doesn't know she needs to be prepared or whatever.
Mhm.
But when she finds like when she needs to start studying, she studies
Mhm.
and she can participate and participate well.
Mhm.
Right.
So she was never dumb. But you know, her parents are like, why would you want to go to law school? When did they say that was for like,
Yeah, like you're ugly people and
yeah, that's like only ugly people go to law
It's
school.
like for real.
Yeah, her mom was like, you know, you're like Miss Hawaii. Why do you need to?
Right.
You're like you're pretty. Why would you need to, work hard or whatever?
Mhm.
And it was just like you realize that she didn't have to rely on her looks. But
Mhm.
at the same time, I'm also glad that she never changed who she was.
Right.
Right? She's gonna wear those pink spangly outfits and carry the little mini dog around or whatever.
Little Chihuahua.
Yeah. So I do like those are aspects. Like I did like that. Like that. She's like, I'm gonna be a lawyer, but I'm still gonna be who I am.
You peeped at your Kiro Taco Bell commercial?
Yes, I
That
did.
the dog was.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah.
I definitely peeped that.
Simpler time.
Right, and I was
Simpler
like,
time.
2001.
Mhm.
Ah.
It was. He had a lot of commercials too with that dog.
Mhm.
Your Kiro
Yeah.
Taco Bell.
Yep.
A lot of
Mhm.
commercials with that dog, man.
Yeah.
I bought a lot of Taco Bell based off that. I'm just gonna say.
So I guess the marketing works.
It did. It actually did. Marketing does work for anybody out there. But yeah, I did appreciate the fact that she remained herself.
Mhm.
But it also brings out like a side of like, I mean, something that we all knew was there. Like people judge you by
Yes.
your cover. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? And judge you by where they came from. So
Yeah.
if they see something about you that makes you look like you lesser than them, they really like eat off that. You know what I'm saying? And they like exploit it. Like there was no reason for her to make what was that, his fiance? Warner's
Yeah.
new fiance?
Mhm.
Really wasn't no reason for her to make her, you know what I'm saying, either feel dumb or whatever. And the
Yeah.
whole incident in the class,
Yeah.
I would have told the teacher, like, hey, you know what I'm saying, she not prepared today. If you let her know what's up, and if she does it again, okay, yeah, kick her out
Well,
the
my
class.
thing is, who am I to throw somebody else under the bus? And that's what
Yeah.
I don't understand. Like, and maybe that is how they act at Harvard. I
Probably
don't
is.
know.
Oh, probably.
Mhm.
I went to a public school,
Same.
but it's just like you never throw your classmate under the bus.
Yeah. No.
And then also, you don't deny people access to study group.
True.
If you want to study with us, by all means, study with
yeah.
us.
Mhm.
Even if we be like, yeah, that's, he a dummy, don't listen to none of his answers.
Mhm.
But it's just like, yeah, you can study with us.
Yeah, because it was like being in college, like we felt like the more we had in our group,
Mhm.
the better chances we had either to pass an exam or the finals. Because it's like you have all these different people's perspective from this same standpoint.
Mhm.
So it's like, okay, oh, I came up with this. So he's like, wow, I didn't think of that. So
Mhm.
it's like, why would you want to exclude someone or prevent someone
Mhm.
from joining the
Well, I mean,
group?
like, what
Like,
helps you get you through it?
Yeah.
Is the people you work with to do it. And
Yes.
then
Right.
you got the people in your class, and then you got the people who was in the class before you.
hmm
And my thing is, I just felt like everyone was like, "Oh, you got Professor so and so," and they'll give you their work. And it's like, "Oh, his test don't never change," and then like they'll give you that stuff.
Mhm.
Like you make friends with everyone you can make friends with to help you get through.
Right.
So I would hope that it would be the same way there.
You would think.
I would think.
Right.
But
Yeah. So
This is a
I just like when I
difference.
saw that scene, I'm like, you don't deny people access to study group, and she brought them muffins. Like she was trying to
like,
be your
"Oh,
friend.
you got muffins? Yeah, sit down.
Yeah, like you bring snacks to the study group.
You're immediately one of
You're
the
in.
favorites.
Like
Yeah.
yeah, like
Immediately.
like that guy with the laptops. And ain't none of us have it. They're like, bro,
Mhm.
bring that laptop over here.
Bring it on over, bro. But this is a different society, a different, I guess, class of people, if you will. So maybe the way
People
that they
with money.
Yeah, people with money. So,
Mhm.
they probably raised to think a certain way. But for me, like, I never went to college. Feel like I say that all the time. But I never went to college, but I was always like, like diversity was always like
Mhm.
of interest to me. Because if you hang
Mhm.
around people that always been, or that's always like you ain't never gonna learn nothing different.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But like you hang with people that's had different experiences, like seeing things from a different angle. Like it's all it's gonna do is like benefit you, like improve you.
Yeah.
But
You know what
isn't
I'm
that the whole thing? Like, think about it. Like, it was her experience as a fashion person
Mhm.
that was able to get what was her name in the movie?
Which one?
Ali Larter?
Or a client?
The client was
Oh,
able to get off because
Brooke.
she Brooke something.
Yeah, Brooke.
Brooke.
Wilder.
Whatever. Her. It was her knowledge about this field that no one else had any knowledge of
Mhm.
that was able to get her off. So, like you said, like you welcome that diversity.
Mhm.
And then again, it's not maybe because I went to a public school and
Mhm.
our study group was filled with just about everyone.
Yeah. Yeah. I would say like that probably was like the number one thing I learned in college was getting that diversity.
Mhm.
Because it was like growing up in the neighborhood we grew up in and everything is just like you're only around one set of race of people.
Mhm.
But it's like in college you got people from all over. And it
Yeah.
was just like that was a learning experience for me in itself.
Right, and it's interesting though. Like it's
Yeah.
interesting to hear like people's different takes on life.
Mhm.
Like you looking at, hey man, the way I look at this, like it's like this, blah blah blah. And he's like, well, if you look at it from this angle, know what I'm saying, maybe it's not so bad, and blah blah blah. And like now you got a different perspective that you can think from. Like moving
Yeah.
forward, like that kind of make you a better person because you're like, hey, now I got
Yes.
two different views that I can look at this
Yes.
from.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
Know
I
what I'm
think you learn like some things are not. It's like you said, like you grow up in an area where everyone's just like you.
Mhm.
Everyone do the things you do, you know. But like when you get somewhere and it's like, oh, everyone's different. It's like you realize like some things are just not that important.
Yeah.
But it's also helps to like kind of broaden you as a person.
Mm-hmm.
So like watching this movie and watching everyone disrespect her simply because it's like, can you believe she's wearing a pink blazer? I'm like, if she like pink, let her wear pink.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it was just like for everyone, it was actually getting annoying because they kept disrespecting her for no reason.
Yeah.
Right.
It's like you went there like, oh, she's the dumb one before she even opened her mouth.
Right.
And I think like that's something that's probably still relevant today, that people will look at someone
Big
and then
time.
assume that you're the dumbest person in the room.
Even the teacher assumed that she was the dumbest person in the room because all she did, she looked at her notebook and what the shape of her notebook was. I think it was like what shaped like a strawberry or something like that.
I think it was a pink heart
It was a pink heart.
with
Okay.
a fuzzy pen or something.
Yeah.
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 But she looked at that and it was like, and you see her like,
Yeah.
and then she proceeds to ask her the question.
Yeah.
But it's like you a teacher for one thing, so you got students coming from you don't know
Everywhere.
where.
Yeah.
But it's like as a teacher, you need to be able to decipher how does this student learn. You know what I'm saying? What's their level of education at, and how can I make sure that they understand the information that I'm trying to give them? Not to be like, all right, there's gonna be a dumb one. Let me put her on blast in front of all the class and make a clown out of her basically.
Yeah.
And you're the teacher.
Yeah, like one, you're supposed to be above and beyond all of that.
Right.
And then I'm like, this is day one. Like, at least let it get a couple of months of the semester. Be like, okay, she ain't gonna make it. But day one, you already said like she's the one that it doesn't make any sense.
Now, in her defense, she did turn around and her character changed throughout the movie.
Yeah.
But initially, it's like as a teacher, like there's no place for that as a teacher.
No.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Especially at like a place like Harvard.
Yeah.
It's like you have one of the top schools in the country. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you should have a whole different level that you approach. Like every year that you got a different group of students.
Right.
You know what I'm
And
saying?
like that's what I'm saying. Like, how many different students do you see every year?
Mhm.
So for you to immediately judge one student simply because she likes bright colors and sparkly things.
Yeah, like tell me you ain't never seen a blonde before.
Right.
Like, come on.
Right.
This ain't nothing new to you.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's my thing.
Yeah. So I mean, that was basically the gist of it. And then at the back half of the movie where I thought it improved. I mean, still didn't like, but it improved was the court case and her trying to get Brooke off because Brooke is accused for murdering her husband.
Yes.
And, she's like, I really did love him, even though he had, 30 years on her or something?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But there was one detail.
Yeah.
That she said,
Yeah. Which, I mean, I guess,
I guess
makes it all worth it. Yeah.
Some people like just a
So-
regular hot dog. Some people like a whole kibasa. But it depends on you.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
can't comment from that end.
But for Brooke, it mattered.
Yeah, for Brooke,
Yeah.
it mattered.
And she
It's a
really
game changer.
Yeah, big
Yeah.
time game changer.
So, and I think this is where you see Elle's skill, where like one, everyone thought Brooke was guilty. And really it's like when you think automatically like this person is guilty, I kind of feel like they really want to give her their best. Like she's
Right.
guilty.
Mm-hmm.
Like we want to get her off because it looks good for us for her to be not guilty. But are you really trying everything in your power to do it because you already have a thought about what it is?
Mm-hmm.
So Elle goes, talks to her because they were in the same sorority.
Yep.
Finds that Brooke has an alibi but doesn't want to give it up. Which at this
Because-
point, like you already went to jail. Your brand is already ruined.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah,
give
so
up
you
that.
might as well just
Give
let
up the
everything come
alibi.
out.
Yeah,
But
just
they
give it up.
already expecting it now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just go up the alibi.
Mm-hmm. But like it's your life at the end of the day. Like, all right, forget your reputation. You better go to jail
Yeah.
because they're gonna find you guilty. You better give up that alibi.
Mm-hmm.
And it was what? Like she was getting liposuction.
Yeah.
Or something like
so
that?
like 'cause she was
Mhm.
supposed to have like a fitness brand, but turns
Mhm.
out it was kind of a fraud because she was
Right.
getting liposuction to stay in shape.
And which news alert? A lot of fitness influencers now are frauds.
Yes.
A lot of
Yes.
liposuction and surgery and all
Yeah.
that going on. Then all
yeah.
of a sudden they start
Surgery.
throwing some weights around and they're like, oh yeah, I'll tell you how to get
Yeah.
in shape.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I even saw the other day, like with men,
Hmm.
like they're getting abs grafted
Yeah.
in their
Really?
body.
Ridiculous.
Yes. So they're getting their 6-packs
You
grafted.
just work out. Like
Right.
seriously,
That's it.
just work out. We find so many ways to cut corners.
Mhm.
Just work out.
But the thing, this is how I look at it. The inside, your inside your body
It's
is
still
still
screwed up.
unhealthy.
Big
Yeah.
time screwed up.
Yeah,
Probably
so
even
now
more
you be
so.
like, man, this man was so cut and swole.
Mhm.
How did he
How
die
did
of
he
a
die?
heart attack?
I wonder. They
Yeah.
ain't really healthy.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah, but yeah, you're right. A lot of these fitness brands, they're frauds.
frauds, big time.
So Elle promised not to tell her secret,
Mm-hmm.
but was looking for other ways to get her off. And she gets to get her off by one, realizing that the pool boy, who we don't remember what his name is,
Yeah, I don't remember.
was gay because he recognized the brand of her shoes.
Mhm.
They were some sort of Prada heel.
Mhm.
I wasn't a fan of them. They weren't attractive.
And also the way he said it, it was like
Last
like
year's
once
Prada.
he said it, I was like,
Yeah.
yeah.
It was Enrique.
Okay.
It was Enrique. Okay.
Enrique Salvatore.
Yeah. So she realized that, and then also because the daughter who claimed that she found Brooke standing over her father's body covered in blood. Which one, if you shot him, why are you covered in blood? Did she shoot him with a shotgun? I mean,
Or shoot him like she was holding him or something.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So, anyways, so then basically, Elle was trying to establish like if Brooke shot him, she wouldn't have enough time to get rid of the gun. And then it's like you just got a fresh perm. You're not about to hop in a shower and wash your hair.
Right.
So that's how she gets Brooke off, and then basically Elle graduates in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Now, well, we may have skipped. There's a reason why. What was the guy's name?
Enrique?
Enrique?
No, not him, but the lawyer, the lead lawyer that was Hitting up
Emmett
Kate.
or the one that hit on her?
the one that hit on her. The one that hit on her.
Callahan.
Callahan. Yeah. So he ends up getting fired by Brooke.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
He hit on Elle, and she ended up quitting, and she ended up getting coming back and whatnot. But he ends up getting fired by Brooke because Elle was I guess like Brooke said, if he don't trust her, then what's the point of him representing her?
Yeah.
She felt more of a connection with Elle. He gets fired. Elle takes over, and that's basically how she questioned the witness and comes to her conclusion. So that's why she ended up taking the lead in it, or else she probably would have never even questioned the.
Yeah, she wouldn't have.
Yeah, she would never.
Yeah, because it still would have been Professor Callahan.
Yeah, so them questions would have never even she would have been found guilty.
Yeah.
More than likely, and they would have been. Yeah, they would have been looking for maybe the least strict sentence. Or
Right.
something for
Yeah.
her,
Mm-hmm.
and that would have been about it.
Yeah.
So with a lot of lawyers, that's kind of the case. With my experience,
Mm-hmm.
it's been that they look for what's going to benefit their firm, not really what's going to benefit their client.
True.
Especially if they think that you're guilty or something like that.
Yep.
They're like, all right, well, we're going to see what we can work out with the prosecutor to, make sure we get paid for one thing, make sure we still look good, make sure it look like we tried at least. That's how lawyers go.
Mm-hmm.
But so with Brooke, she kind of saw that. They're like, hey, if you don't trust me, then you're not really trying to, get me off or whatever. Elle seems like she trusts me. So I'd rather put my case in her hands than yours.
Which makes sense.
Yep.
Elle had Brooke's interests
Mhm.
in mind and not the firm's, right? Because the firm, we just want to get a W.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a lot of things in real life what people don't understand. Like, you have the right to get another lawyer if you don't.
Right.
But I mean,
Almost
one,
same
you got to
kind of
have the
case.
money,
Yeah.
And you
but-
still do have to pay the lawyer that you fired for whatever time they put
True.
in. You still got to pay that.
True. But yeah. If you feel like this lawyer ain't beneficial, you can kick him to the curb.
Yeah, kick them to the curb. You can represent yourself if you want to.
Yes.
Not always the best idea.
I mean, you have you have to
You
know
got to know something.
something.
Because trust me, the lawyer on the other side already know what to say, what to do, to try to throw you off. It's gonna be like child's play for them. So you
Yeah.
gotta know what you're doing if you're gonna do that.
Yeah.
But like you said, you can fire your lawyer at any point, get another one, and if you feel like that's your best interest, go ahead and do that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because I heard this one lawyer said that that's I guess it would be the prosecutor.
Mm-hmm.
He would say like, "Oh, I can make an innocent person make themselves sound guilty."
Mhm.
It was like, all you got to do is ask the right questions.
Mhm. And that's the truth.
Yeah,
That's the truth. Because it's like if you up there on the bench, you're already probably nervous. You know what I'm saying? You probably uneasy. So if they ask the right questions, you might give a knee jerk response, and all of a sudden you look crazy to the jury or whoever else.
Yeah,
Even if you're saying something honest, you might end up looking crazy.
Yeah,
and that's what they want.
Yeah,
all they trying to do is play on your emotion and the jury's emotion. And once they can get that jury to believe that you're guilty, it's gonna be like an uphill battle for you to try to fight back and make yourself look innocent. Now, they know that already.
Yeah,
because that's basically the game.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. All right. So
I think these cookies came out pretty
good. Thanks.
Like you mixed them up.
Hey.
He did ball them.
Too big.
And we left them that size, and yet here we are.
Whatever. whatever. Okay, so one more thing before we move on to our other subjects.
Okay.
The music choice in this movie,
Mm,
just
Really?
I didn't like it at all.
I didn't either.
It's a perfect day.
First of all, getting stuck in my hand. I don't know what song it is, and I just feel like it just set the tone for like this is just not my kind of thing.
I mean, that's probably true. Like a lot of the music just wasn't something that we were going to recognize
Just not
Or
at
listen
all.
to.
or listen to
Just
at all.
not at all. I'm like,
Yeah.
is this a popular song? Who sung it? I don't know.
Around
I
that
just
time, it probably was.
I don't know who that person was or whatever, but I hated the music choice in this movie. So I just wanted to bring that out because I wrote it down, so I have to say it.
I hate this music.
Yep.
Star.
Okay, so now we can get into random movie facts.
All right now.
Random movie facts.
Just one Moscow Mule for you?
There's just one.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's strong.
I also didn't eat.
Oh, that
It does help.
does help.
That helps the drink, not you.
I know it doesn't help me at all.
Okay.
Okay, so so this movie was based off a book by
Really?
yes,
Huh.
with the same title by a woman named Amanda Brown, and she wrote it while she was at Stanford. Basically, her experience at law school because she didn't fit in. So I'm guessing,
Oh.
yeah. So I'm guessing
Yeah.
people who go to prestigious schools are jerks.
Who
Yeah,
would've
because they
thought?
Who
call
would have thought?
Crazy.
yeah, because they call Stanford Ivy League West.
It's the
Harvard
top
West.
three. It's
Yeah.
like Yale, Harvard, Stanford. It's the top three.
Okay.
So yeah, so basically, these were the letters she was writing home about her experience and how she didn't fit in, and then she decided to make it into a manuscript, which she wrote on pink paper, which stood out to whoever she sent it out to, and which is then referenced by Elle having her resume on pink paper.
Ah.
It's kind of
Okay.
hard on the eyes, though, isn't it? You gotta read something
bet
on
it
pink
was, 'cause
paper?
Then, like, I mean, this got to be like
You just got to write in black though.
she probably used a typewriter.
Oh,
Man, on pink paper? Eesh.
it is
Was it light
2001.
pink or was it like that?
They didn't show
That
it
heavy-
like
oh, okay.
like that hot pink.
Yeah.
I'm guessing probably
That
like
one
a
would have
blush.
annoyed me. I'm like, no.
Next.
We're not doing it.
But incidentally enough, Stanford did not want to be associated with this movie.
Oh,
Oh, that's why.
So,
That's why we got
That's
Harvard.
why it's at Harvard and not Stanford.
okay.
Although I think some of the stuff was actually shot at like Stanford or USC or something, but they did not want their name associated with it.
Okay.
So I think I brought this up before. A perfect LSAT score is 180. L got a 179.
Mm.
So that puts her in like the top 0.1%.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even notice that. I didn't even know what the perfect score was.
But which is then ironic because remember Warren got waitlisted, and he had to use his family
Oh.
influence to get in.
Mm-hmm.
So he was talking about like you're just not smart enough. And
Well,
she's
that-
And
actually-
he
Smarter
wasn't.
than him.
Right.
She's a whole lot smarter than he was.
Did you say he graduated without no job offers and
No,
none of that?
without honors and no job offers. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So apparently the dialogue in this movie was toned down. Apparently it was like a lot more racier.
Race here, but they weren't even.
I don't know. They must have to cut out a whole lot, I guess.
I guess.
I'm kind of wondering what I want to see that original script in.
I don't know, but I don't need this movie to be racy though.
How could it be? There weren't any, whatever.
Right.
All right.
Okay. So law school essays cannot be a video because this is like a
Oh.
website you insert everything on. And
Yeah.
You attach documents to it.
Mhm.
Can't attach.
So you can't
video.
put a video in. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, those guys were pretty impressed by that video.
Yeah, but it's not unusual for someone like her, besides the video essay, because there's no such thing as really as pre-law. Like obviously you got like poli science and stuff like that, but
Mhm.
you don't have to do that. Like right now, I can take the LSATs and get into law school.
Mhm.
Your undergrad does not have to be related to law
Right.
to get in.
Yeah.
All right.
And then apparently it is not common for first years to get internships because there's like, I guess they set limits on how many hours they can work. Like they were working a ton on this murder case, which then means like, how are they studying
Right.
and going to class and stuff? So that's probably not realistic.
Mhm.
Although,
Kind of like how they get away with murder.
yeah,
I'd be like, there's no way they
Right.
got time for other classes.
Yeah.
Right.
yeah, like, yeah. So
Yeah.
not although apparently everything else in the movie is actually pretty accurate.
Okay.
Almost. Elle was a first year law student.
Mm-hmm.
That law she quoted in Massachusetts that allowed her to question Brooke
Mm-hmm.
only applies to third years because third year you're getting ready to graduate.
Okay.
She would not have been allowed to question a witness. It's
Okay.
not happening.
Okay.
Although, because Emmett could have literally did the same thing.
True.
Like, she could have just told Emmett what the issue was.
Right, and then he do. Yeah.
Yeah.
But for the movie sake.
Yeah.
I mean, it's better if she does it. Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. It wouldn't have been as impactful if he did it.
Mm-hmm.
Very true. Very true. Although he did a good job with Enrique.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he did. He did.
Mm-hmm.
That was funny. I forgot what the question
Your
was.
boyfriend name is what?
Your boyfriend name is what? Chuck. Yeah, okay. It's like, man, he just rolled right into that one because he was answering them questions quick.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like he was like prepared for it.
Mm-hmm.
So like he was like, all right, once we get the ball rolling, just ask what your boyfriend name is. It's gonna come right out, and it did. Chuck was not happy about that.
Okay. So, nitpicks.
Pick some nits.
Take some nits.
Does anyone care what a senator's wife does?
No.
Just like, I'm like, who cares who your wife is?
No.
Just like, I mean, we literally just had a president whose wife does nothing.
Literally.
Yeah.
Literally just had one.
Yeah.
Does nothing. No one cares who your wife is.
Like for him to say that he doesn't have a choice
Right.
in the matter, like,
Right.
bruh, come on, man. Are you serious?
Yeah.
Like, I that whole
Yeah.
conversation
That's just
was good to
family
me.
snobbery.
Mhm.
Yeah, like, hey, my
Yeah.
family expects a lot from me. I'm like, okay, so
Right.
everything he said, I'm like, so and
Yeah, like if you really love me, it don't matter, right?
right.
Yeah.
What I thought was weird is like you thought he was gonna propose to you, but you never met his family though.
I didn't catch that part.
Yeah, like I'm not about to marry you if I don't know your family. Because
Right.
your family weird. I'm like,
Now there are some people that can separate themselves from their family, but
That
then
is
again, there are
true,
some
but
people
you
that
need
cannot.
you need to see that dynamic though.
Yeah, I do need
And
to see
then
that
you need
dynamic.
to like then suss out whether or not okay he's not his family or I don't like the vibe of this. I'm out.
Yeah. Yeah.
It,
But if you give me the vibe that hey, it's me and you,
yeah,
okay, cool, we'll
Yeah.
deal with your family. But if you give me the vibe that your family kind of run things,
yeah,
yeah, I'm probably
Yeah, I'm out.
I'm
Yeah.
out.
I'm not on that.
Yeah, I'm out.
Okay. All right. So my other two nitpicks I already mentioned about study group. You do
Yep.
not do that in college.
Yeah.
And then also L not being allowed to question a witness. Did I have another one? Oh, also I don't think like that first day she got kicked out for being unprepared. I just feel like that's not a thing that happens.
Yeah, the first day, like I said,
No.
Yeah.
if you want to like lecture her or whatever, okay, cool. Like, hey, this is how the class runs. This is how we do things. Blah blah blah. All right, fine. But let her stay in the class. If she does it again, then now you kind of have grounds to be like, all right, you got to get out because you ain't prepared. You're not
Yeah.
serious about this.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the grounds and rules is always laid out the first day.
They should
Yeah.
be, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
And then
okay.
it's after that, then it's like, okay,
Mhm.
the professors start, like, hey, nah, you got to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially for something like law, I expect them to be, some
Yeah.
level of strict on that.
Well,
Mhm.
yeah, because I mean, you paying a lot of money to be here.
Yes.
Don't waste none of our times.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I just feel like this is day one. Did I feel like even if she was a slacker, like they'll kick you out?
Yes.
Yeah, it's gonna show itself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially in an Ivy League school.
Yeah, because I feel like professors notice
Mhm.
the student that is a slacker.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I'm like, even when I was in college, they were just like, oh yeah.
But then to like
Yeah.
kind of throw the ball to another student though.
Yeah, just
Like,
to
for
like
real?
embarrass her or whatever. Just
Yeah, I'm like,
ridiculous.
come on now.
Yeah.
You the well, they're all adults, but like you're
Yeah.
a teacher.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So step it up.
Okay, so that was my last nitpick.
Okay.
I guess we can rate the movie.
Mm-hmm.
I will start with the words from Darren from the grave.
Okay.
So he says, for what it is, Legally Blonde is a watch while folding clothes. I didn't find any of the jokes funny, but there's a good story behind all the ridiculousness. I hated watching it and will never watch it again. So,
So was it a wash while folding clothes?
You
gonna say-
hated watching it.
yes, because I also felt very similar. I will never, ever, ever watch this movie again.
So like you didn't like it, like at all? Like
I like no.
wow,
Which
totally.
was disappointing because I was hoping but again, I feel like a lot of these movies that's like cult classics, I end up not liking.
True.
And this is one of those I was like, this movie's not good. I understand why people like it so much.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a great movie. Like I said, I think the story was cool, but the antics throughout the movie were just a bit much for me. And it was just like they were emphasizing and maybe exaggerating the whole blonde thing and whatnot. But I'm like, somebody's interest does not dictate who this person
Exactly.
like their intelligence level.
Right, because she's into fashion or whatever, and she likes to wear fluffy things. Like that has no bearing on whether or not it's just like so because she likes to be quote unquote stylish, not my style, but because she likes to be that, then she also can't be a lawyer.
Right.
Like those two things don't go together.
Yeah, I don't think that's an issue here. So I feel like they kind of overly embellished that, but
But then I mean, there might be some truth to that too. Because like I feel like if you're in a woman in a male dominant field, and surprising enough, women are still they only represent 38% of lawyers.
Wow.
Yep, I looked it up. 38%. So you figure that there's probably is a lot of stereotypes that gets thrown around by that. And especially like if you have a woman who is more girlier than others, they probably figure like, how did she get into this position? Or she's probably not that smart and use her looks to get to where she is.
Is she not supposed to be girly? She's a girl.
I want to say that gets thrown a lot. For women who are in male dominant fields, that gets thrown a lot. Where they assume that you're not going to be good looking. And as someone who has people say that to your face, that they assume something about you. And you're like, okay. That gets thrown out a lot, and it's like it's ridiculous. So I feel like in a way this movie was sort of ahead of its time because it still happens.
Yeah, it definitely still happens.
Yeah,
definitely still happens. And I mean, for her to get hit on by the guy, it's like I'm not surprised by that either.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, man, if you don't report this, because how many people has he done this to?
True.
And he's gonna do it afterwards because you were just gonna quit and leave.
Yeah, and leave it alone. Yeah,
he'd do it
again.
Yeah.
Like you could tell by his demeanor, like he was just, you know what I'm saying, like women just ain't.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The way he look at them, they're not humans.
Well, Vivian, I'm guessing she was supposed to be the plain one, right? He was the one like, you go get my coffee. While he hits on Elle.
Yeah.
Just
He's like, yeah, all right, we'll see what you're like.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's weird to me. There's still only 38%.
Yeah.
But they dominate the nursing field, though.
That goes to stereotypes.
Dominated. Like dominated.
Yeah.
Like it's crazy. But yeah. But yeah, I would say probably watch while folding clothes. I was in the middle of doing laundry. I was watching this movie. So
I give it a watch while folding clothes.
Okay.
Wow.
I'm
just gonna leave it at that.
I give it a watch while folding clothes.
Okay. All right. So we're unanimous on that.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. That is our rating for Legally Blonde. Watch while folding clothes.
If you were folding clothes while you were watching this movie, let us know in the comments.
Yes, let us know what you thought. Are we wrong about this movie? Should we give it another chance? Let us know in the comments and your thoughts below, and we'll see you in the next one.